back, everyone.
I know that.
we're we're Terry Wager, Generator Coaching, Christine McGinley, Generator Coaching, and our good buddy Michael Gabriel, Mach 10 Marketing. And we are here talking about business principle, never give up. See, too many people start their businesses, they get discouraged, and they give up. How many people here have ever seen somebody start something, they get really interested, they get excited about it, and then they just start to lose interest in it or drop it like a hot rock? You know, it happens over and over and over again, and it's no wonder that 80% of businesses fail in their first 2 years of operating. It's because people give up way too easily. We get discouraged. We start to feel powerless. We start to feel inferior. And then as that happens, we just stop doing what works. And it reminds me of this situation that I had when I was younger. And I didn't put anything together for a number of years. But I used to go into my garage with my dad, and he'd be helping me, or he would be having some kind of project. And the project he'd have like a little piece of paper with directions written on it, and he would just go and start building stuff. And he would, he built like big garden type things, and I had no idea how he did it. And he built this grape arbor, which is basically a big old fort for grapes to climb up. And he built us a fort, and he did all of these different things. And he's just a woodworker that was just amazing. And I always just thought that it came out of his head. And so whenever I did a project, I'd try to do it out of my head. And it would come out like, I built a birdhouse, and it came out like all sideways, and the roof was falling off, and I couldn't figure out how he did this. And the funny thing is as I was doing that, he'd come and start telling me how I could do it better, and I'd start hiding my work, and I'd start really keeping him from seeing what I was doing because I didn't like the criticism. And I didn't like what was going on with how he was telling me how to fix stuff, because I thought I should be as smart as him, knowing how to do these things, just write a few directions down and then go ahead and do the project, and it'd turn out perfect. And it would never work out the way I wanted it to. It never came out the way that I had it in my mind. And the funny thing is the more that it didn't turn out the way I wanted to, the more I hid my work, and the more he would criticize if he saw it. And I saw it as criticism. He was trying to help me. I didn't know this, but it just felt like always having these people come in and tell me what I could do better. And it created this thing in me where I just felt inferior whenever I tried to do any kind of projects. It really moved me away from doing woodwork at all. I just didn't like it. I couldn't stand it. And then the more he asked me to help him out, the more inferior I felt. And it got to a place where I wouldn't help at all. I didn't want to be around it. I didn't want to have anything to do with it. I gave up. I absolutely gave up because I didn't know what was going on. And the funny thing is, if we fast forward about 30 years on, I'm cleaning out my dad's place after he passed away. And my mom's like, hey, do you want those books? And I'm like, why would I want those books? And he's like, they're the Time Life books. Your dad got every project he ever did out of them. He took notes out of all of these books, and he didn't want to hurt the books because he really actually wanted to pass them on to you. But so he'd write all the directions down, and he'd take them into the garage, and then you guys would go build stuff. I felt so stupid, and I felt so disconnected in that moment, and quite embarrassed, because I thought my dad just knew how to do stuff. I didn't know that he was taking directions. I didn't know that he was actually getting help from somewhere. I didn't know what he was doing to get all of these projects that he did. And I felt and I believed for years. In fact, I still have a lingering thought that I'm supposed to know what to do without direction. I'm supposed to intuitively know how to do things I've never done before. Now, we've all had that experience where we feel like we're embarrassed because we don't know how to do something, don't we? And at the same time, if you've never done it, You don't know how to do it. And I mean, this kind of idea plagued me as I went through school. I thought I was supposed to know how to do the math before I ever learned it. I'd open the book and be frustrated before I even started reading. I don't know how to do this. And it was this thing that kind of went through my whole life. I can look back on it and see how I thought I should know stuff that I don't know. And I was always afraid to show my work. I was afraid to ask for help. I was afraid to say that I don't know how to do things. And it took me into a place that made it so I couldn't actually grow the way I wanted to. And I was very discouraged in this. How many people have ever really tried to attempt something and they just become that discouraged person that doesn't know how to move forward, so they drop it? Happens all the time. I know it does. It happens, every one of us, don't we? It's what we do. And so what I found is when I'm going through that, I have to actually admit that I need help. I got to admit that I don't know what I'm doing. And then I have to go find people who know what they're doing. I have to show them my work. I have to open myself up to them and allow myself to be criticized the way my head thinks it. I have to be critiqued, is really what it is. I have to be able to show what I'm doing so I can see where I can improve. And then I have to ask for that help. I have to be willing to accept the help. That's where a lot of people have a problem. What I've seen with a vast majority of people that I've worked with throughout the years is they're pretty good at asking for help, but they don't accept it. They want to change what you say. They want to do it a different way. Or they say, you know what, I've tried that, it didn't work. And so we end up in these situations where we're asking for help and then pushing the help away. And the funny thing is, has anybody ever asked for help and they go, no, that doesn't work? I've already tried that, that doesn't work. Yeah, I was going to do that and I realized that that thing doesn't work either. And what we do when we're doing that is we're actually making the other person that's trying to help us feel as powerless as we feel. We make them feel just as discouraged as we are. And then we make them feel just as inferior, and then we wonder why they don't want to help anymore. And we create this pattern in our lives of pushing people away as we're asking for help. And so we got to ask for help, but we got to be open to it. We got to be vulnerable to their help. And then, really, we got to show our work and follow the directions that they're telling us. One of my biggest problems when I was younger was I wanted to do it my way. How many people have ever run into the I want to do it my way thing? You know, don't raise your hand, Michael. I know you want to do it somebody else's way. We run into this over and over and over again, that while you're giving me some good idea of how to do it, my way makes more sense. Why? Because I thought of it. And here's the thing. Most of the time, when we're thinking of how we want to do it or how it's going to work the best, we've got this idea of perfection. It doesn't matter how often I have something new I'm doing or something that I have an idea how I want it to be. I get this idea and then I move into what I remember back when I was younger with my dad's, with his perfect projects. I have this idea of perfection rather than good enough to work. And then I'd also compare myself. Well, I'm going to build a funnel. Okay, well, I'm going to compare myself to Michael's funnel. And then I'm never going to be good enough. I'm never going to show my work because, goddamn, he's going to laugh at it. Or I'm going to do writing and I'm going to compare it to how Jennifer would write it. And I'm really looking at how mine doesn't measure up. And so I don't want to show my work. And so we never really move forward the way we want to. And I see this over and over and over when we're working in businesses. Or another situation that happens is we have the other people do it. You know what, Michael, you're much better at this. I don't need to learn this. That way I don't have to confront it. Or I'm not very good at sales, so I'll hire a sales team. And then As a result, I don't learn a skill that I could probably be pretty good at. And so there's all these different things that happen, and what happens as a result is I give up little pieces of my business, or I give up little dreams I have. I give up on the relationships. I give up on the instances where I can learn. And really, when we think about building your business and profit, what we're talking about more than anything is building our lives with one interaction and another. We're talking about being able to have that experience, exploring what we're good at, what we're not good at, what we want to learn about, and experiencing what happens when we achieve a goal. And I talk about the 3 E's all the time. I talk experience, experimenting, and exploring all the time, because that's what life is all about. We're born into exploration. It's the first thing that babies do, is start to explore. Right? And then as we grow up, we start to experiment and try to walk. We fall over. Try to walk. We fall over. And then experiencing is something that we all do constantly from the day we're born to the day we die. Experience different things. That's what motion is all about. Emotion is all about experience. But at some point, the experience gets scary, so we stop exploring and we stop experimenting, and then we stagnate. And when we stagnate, that's a problem, because we start to go into that discouraged feeling. And we have this quiet desperation back here saying we should be more than we are. And we have these goals, we have these visions, we have these dreams out there just beyond our reach, and we have that discouraging voice right back here going, you're never going to do it. You might as well throw in the towel. You might as well get somebody else to do it. You might as well just go get the job. Maybe you're going to work for Pepsi. Maybe you're going to have somebody else do the sales for you. Maybe you just sit at that job instead of taking action on the life that you want to live. Instead of really diving in deep, asking for the help, accepting the help, showing your work, being vulnerable in the areas that you suck. A friend of mine talks about embracing the suck. It's a Marine thing, evidently. And it's embracing the suck. Well, what it is, it's not suck. It's our emotions that we don't like because we feel vulnerable. It's really embracing that vulnerability, admitting where we're having trouble, showing our work, and then making adjustments so we can continue to grow the way we want to grow. And let's face it, when we're quitting, when we're in that cycle of quitting, that giving up, we're giving up on our dreams. And so what's your dream? Where are you at? Maybe your dream isn't what you're doing right now, but what you're doing right now is going to lead you to your dream. But if you give up on what you're doing right now, where's your dream? Because that piece that you're in right now is the stepping stone to your dream. And what so many people do is they give up on their dream one step at a time. They don't know it. Because they're victims of shiny object syndrome, or the fear-based bounds. They're victims of feeling not good enough. They get stuck in their emotion that keeps them from moving forward. And so, how do you get out of that? Well, like I said, first thing is you got to admit that you need help. You got to admit you don't know something. But you can't stop there. You actually have to make a commitment to yourself. You have to make a commitment to yourself that you're going to find out, you're going to work out what the next step is and take it. And as we take those next steps, being open to showing our work and getting feedback. Christine and I have been involved in a speaking program for a couple of years. Man, I remember the first time I was on that stage. One, I had the COVID cough a couple of years back, and I'm sitting there choking at the same time as trying to speak, and I have no idea how I'm supposed to speak, what I'm supposed to do, what really a call to action is, or anything like that. I don't know anything about what I'm doing, and they're going, you got to go do a 1-minute talk. Now, that's a short amount of time to say some stuff, and at the same time, you're supposed to start, bring people through a story, and have an end that moves people to action in some way. In 1 minute. Let's just say I didn't do very well. And then they had Christine come up, she did way better than me. Then they had us do it again and again and again over the weekend. And it was so unnerving the first time. And it was so unnerving the second time. Pretty unnerving the third time. But we kept going. And then we never gave up. Christine and I came home from that thing. Luckily I got home from the Bahamas. They weren't going to let me. My plane ticket was all messed up. But we got home and then we did 100 Facebook Lives right after that. Day after day, we showed up and started speaking. And we got better and better and better at it. And the reality is I'm still getting all kinds of feedback from our coaches about what I'm doing right, what I need to work on. But I'm showing my work. I'm putting it out there. People are seeing it all over. Some of it's good. Some of it's not. But the reality is it's the vulnerability of putting ourselves out there that gets us to that next level. And so here, who wants to be at the next level? Are you showing your work? Are you following the instructions of the people that are giving them to you? Are you taking the action? Are you exploring what's working and what's not? Are you doing the experiments? Where in your business, where in your life are you letting somebody else do it when it's a skill you know you need? These are the questions that really, when we're getting quiet with ourselves and focusing, where do I need to improve? What do I need to move myself forward? How do I get myself to that next level? And Christine and I talk about Generator. It's the name of our company because we talk about generating relationships, resources, results. It starts with you. We say this all the time. You are the generator of your life, good or bad. What are you generating in your life? Are you generating the results you're looking for? And in your business, are you generating the relationships that move yourself forward? Now every business has sales. Are you generating the sales you're looking for? Are you generating the numbers that you know you need to understand how to grow your business? Do you know how to identify how much you need each month? Do you know how to get there? Do you know how many sales conversations you need to generate? How many closes you have to have? Or commitments you make, however you want to put it. We like commitments a little bit better. How many people you enroll into a program, or how many deals you have to make in order to hit your numbers. How about in service? What you have to do to generate great customer service for the people that you're working with. Do you know exactly what that takes? Do you know the areas that you can improve on? Do you know the areas that you're knocking out of the park? These are the things that we think about at Generator, and these are the things that we work with people on. And what about your marketing? Getting leads. Do you know how to generate the leads you're looking for? Do you have lead sources? Christine and I talk about having 3, but we're challenged by our coach to have 12. 12 different lead sources. Jesus Christ. One's hard enough to manage. You have 12. Well, wait a minute. Is it hard enough to manage? Or is that an area of improvement? And then, when we're looking at the business overall, are you generating the business? Are you generating the life you're looking for? Because money's not everything, but it sure does make everything easier. And so are you generating the money in your business? Are you generating the money in your life that you're looking for? Not just to pay your bills, but to have fun, to have the excitement that you're looking for, to be able to do the things that you want to do. Because one of the biggest things that I think about when we're looking at our life is if we're not having fun, it makes it so much easier to give up. But when we're having fun, why would you want to give up? So we try to make our business fun. We try to make our relationships fun. We try to have the resources that create ease in all of our business, no matter what we're doing. We love to go networking and connect with people because we know that we have more fun when we see other people succeed. Because we're all better together. But if you're not showing your work, and you're worried about what people are seeing, or you're focused on trying to do it all by yourself, man, that sounds like a recipe for giving up. And so the answer, really, for me, is we got to have help. We got to have help, and we got to recognize the areas we need help. And so, as I wrap this up a little bit, I want to ask each and every one of you to think about, where else in your business do you need a little help? Is it sales? Is it getting leads? I know we have a leads issue. We need more leads. We're working with that with Michael. Is it customer service? Is it a little bit of all 3? Is it how to build a team? Is it how to create more relationships so that you have more energy around what you're doing? Or do you need a little work on yourself? Do you need to generate a little more work on yourself and your vulnerability, being able to look at where you're at and where you want to go? Do you need to look at where you have your goals and you're working too hard to get your goals and not paying enough attention to yourself? Or you're paying too much damn attention to yourself and not enough to your goals or your action? There's a lot of people that do that. We've got all our problems centered right on our eyeballs and can't see anything else. Each one of these is a place where you can start working with Generator Coaching. We can help you to start moving forward. Whether it's you building a team, building the resources, helping you in your sales, helping you in your marketing, helping you in your customer service. These are the different areas that we work to scale your business. And so if these are something that you're looking for, reach out to us, generatorcoaching.com. Make an appointment. And we actually have tomorrow a special thing going on with one of our coaches that we reached out to help for about 1.5 years ago, that helped us actually increase our sales so that we made 6 figures in 90 days. Who here would like to make 6 figures in 90 days? Would you like to add another 6 figures? How about getting the strategies to be able to attract, convert, and keep more clients? 90 days, 6 figures. And then another 90 days, another 6 figures. Who wouldn't like to do that, right? Of course you would. So we put it in the chat. Grab that link, register, come join us tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern to see us talking about how we can help you at least with your sales. That's what we're talking about right now. And so this is Build Your Business a Profit. We've been talking about never giving up. But in the process of never giving up, you got to have help. There's nobody out there that's ever done it all alone. Every man show has a bunch of people in the background. And so we want to be helping you in the background to make your business successful. So Terry Wager, Generator Coaching, Michael Gabriel, Christine McGinley. We'll see you next time.